So up we come back into the field, eh my boy? Doing it once again. The horsey lorry. Everything's looking good. It's so nice up here. Just so nice. Oh, and a pussycat was chasing the rabbits there. Now I just saw a pussycat down and about there. Look, the rabbits are just across the way a little bit. And I thought I saw a little rabbit getting cut off. You know, just a wee baby, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Yes, it's right about here. Nah, there is a rabbit hole here, so shit. I think the wee one did go down somewhere here. Yeah, that's a proper hole, that's where they went, that's okay. So here he goes, you guys, the boy's on it. He's on it. So we're just saying, because obviously David's learning a bit here too. And again, guys, I'm no pro, you know, I can get past, you know, with what I've got, you know, and just do my best.
So this thing is around 7 feet and 6 feet.
Yeah. So I think what we're going to need is a new piece of box section for along there as the side rail, you see. So what we've done is, and it's a really good thing to do, guys, is measure it all up first, take a photograph of the suppliers. You know, I'm sure it's very standard. It's a pretty standard lorry, you know. And so we're same again with this, watch. I don't actually think you guys can see this, but the tailpipe's definitely gone. It's cracked away there, and there's a little hole just up in there. So again, very standard item, but we'll just draw the shape of it. Now, wee measurement, taking photographs of the brackets as well. That's always good, eh, sonny boy? Always good. But very little on the rotten side. Look, I know that's just all surface stuff. That'll be fine. We'll rub all that away and rub it all back. I think we might actually put in 2 fuel tanks. I think it might put one in behind it as well. But we'll just have to wait for that.
Double the cost of fuel.
Yeah, well, it saves us stopping, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
And of course the other downside to that is more weight.
Yeah.
Which, you know, affects the fuel consumption, obviously. There he goes, look, to the... Yeah, just till it gets to the join. What is it? 27.
A massive crack.
Ah, yes, David's seen the big crack. You see if it opens its mouth, look.
Yeah.
We don't want to snap it just yet.
It's
just in case we have to move it.
That much until it just
Yeah,
snaps.
it's had enough. It's actually been welded on that corner. You see the plate? That's really, you know, it looks odd from the rest of it. So that's okay. Sorry guys, the sun is at the other side of the lorry at the moment.
It's about 73.
Cool. Yeah, so just in case, we've measured the whole underrun, that whole bit there, even this corner bit, just in case. Because we could go to a lorry's breaker yard and get exactly the same one. It bolts up the top there, it'd be fairly straightforward, but we'll just have to wait and see. Isn't it just so nice up here though, guys, eh? Even nicer with a couple of hossies, eh, sonny boy?
Yeah.
Eh? We'll just keep going, got a lot to do, got a lot to do. Look at my Frank though, eh? He is desperately needing his wheels painted, do you know that? I'd love to get some big wheels for him, but you'll just have to live with that just now. So away David goes, under we go again. We're just trying to see...
What thing?
The nut on the other side of the brakes. I'll show you. Yeah, just check, see if the socket fits on that, and then I'll know it's 24mm. I'm sure it was 24mm. Nice fit.
Fits.
Yeah, 24mm.
It like fits perfect.
Yeah, I just guessed. Look, I just guessed. I don't know what size that must be then. Well, we got interrupted by Mummy, didn't we? We got interrupted because her brake caliper seized up on her, so there's a bit of a smell. But yeah, we're just sort of running out of time. It's just the way that it is, isn't it, just now? But that over there, guys, is all the stuff that we took out of the caravan when we ripped apart that 7-metre caravan, eh? All the wiring, and that's going to be for this place. So the hope is, son, is hopefully we'll obviously get motorbikes and quads up here like that easily. But I think, son, by the time we've got a tool chest in over there and the storage and all that sort of stuff, I'm thinking maybe one motorbike. Quads would be fine.
Yeah, maybe the big quad, little quad.
Maybe one at a time, eh? I don't know. But yeah, and I really want to take these windows and stuff out because they really are quite old and really need fire escape, don't we? Just to make sure we're all safe. But that is all the gear right there, people. Electrics, pumps, all sorts of stuff that we'll use for through there. So young Davs has had a suggestion, haven't you, son? And he's thinking about us maybe putting in a little door over there on the passenger side, so if you stop at the side of the road you can still actually get in there really easily.
Yeah, instead of taking around the back or The lock
Yeah.
on there isn't working.
And that would also be another form of a fire escape as well, which would be great from this back section here. But we will have extinguishers and everything in here when the time comes. We'll get in some of that LED lights, we'll get it painted. Those doors are so heavy. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm going to need a hand getting them out of this thing, really. But that has kind of snookered our day now. So we need to get back to the house, eh? And obviously I couldn't film on camera, there's a couple of people there, you know, and not everybody likes being filmed, so we'll manage, son. Back up to the field we go, and I've got a few little jobs to do today. You know, some guys, I think I'm going to have to get this guy back in with the tractor to give this another cut, but we need to get rid of the ragwort first. Yeah, so pretty much this stuff here, which is actually poisonous, and the problem with this stuff is because it's so poisonous, animals can actually eat this and it'll destroy their liver and their kidneys. You've got to be really careful with ragwort. So we're going to have to deal with all the different ragwort plants that are around the field. It's fine up here, there's not many at all really. We'll get around them. There's a few up over there that we really need to get, and a couple over there as well. A couple. That bit there, I should say. So I'm kind of having to come back and forth to this job, you know, because one of the things is, for example, you know, that's the prop shaft still down. There's obviously David's at school, and I want to be doing quite a lot of these jobs while, you know, he's there so he can learn how to do them. Emily as well, actually. But I just put them all together in the video anyway, so it doesn't really matter to you guys, but it is a bit of a pain sort of coming back and forth, but it'll be well worth it. Yeah, so what we have, guys, is some gasket paper. And we cannot find the metal gasket I took off the diff at all, so what we're going to do is put some shoe polish on the flange, yeah, and I'll press this gasket paper against it and it'll give us an outline of the gasket. Yeah, I think we're going to need some gear oil as well, I think. Yeah, definitely need some gear oil to refill that diff as well. But once this diff's back up and on, I think we'll move the lorry back and I'll get a cover put underneath. I just want to try and see if I can get the lorry just a little bit higher, you know, just even a few inches will do it. Right, so that's all done there, and I just applied it with a brush. I don't want it to be too thick, so if I put it on far too thick, it's just going to smudge, you know. Yeah, so I made a bit of a hash of the first one, that's okay, I kind of lost my balance a little bit, but that one's not too bad, because I pressed it a little bit harder there, but hopefully you'll see and get the whole outline. I wish we could find the metal one, because then you can just sort of cut round it, obviously, you know, but we'll just have to do it this way. But yeah, this particular gasket here, they don't do anymore. It's obsolete altogether. So you've basically just got to make them. But this will be the card, you know, the proper gasket card. And we're going to put on high temperature gasket sealant on each part. So when we put that thing back together again and clamp it on with the bolts, that'll be at rock tight. So there we go, centre piece cut out. You like my wee workshop, guys? Check it out, eh? My wee mobile workshop. That's what this thing will be. Now, I don't really have to worry actually about the outsides. I was just thinking, what I'll do is just cut them away and then we can just take them off, you know, once we put the diff back on like that. But it's just the holes here now we really need to get right. I don't want to guesstimate that at all. I really don't. I think I'll put it back on now that it's done and get another sort of smudge, you know, that would be good. Yeah, so that was the bottom, wasn't it? Yeah, that was the bottom. So obviously, guys, what we need now is to cut out these holes, and I think I'll be okay. What I'll maybe do actually is you know, you get proper gasket making kits, guys, that can punch holes and stuff like that, you know, but obviously we're just doing it because I don't actually have one at the minute. But we can put it up there and on, and that's it, just about ready. So I just want to do this with David. I don't want to do this just now just by myself. I'd rather finish this off with David, but that's another little job. Yeah, once we've got the pennies, guys, we'll definitely put some BF Goodridges on there. I'd like the wheels to be silver because the side rails will be silver as well. Cab's going to be red, that back bit maybe a darker grey. We'll just wait and see. But you get this great hub that I spotted that you can put on there. It makes it come out, and that's what we could do when we get the wheels painted, and that would be absolutely brilliant. We've got this tail piece of the exhaust to do, but I just want to wait for David to let him take that off. The part's in order, so we can put that in as well. And again, guys, all this rusty spots you see is all surface rubbish, you know, absolutely no problem at all. We've got all that done. It's not a priority, but this end bit's a little bit worse than I thought. you know, once we really got chopping with a hammer sort of thing, you know. But there's always a silver lining. We'll try to anyway. We're actually thinking about putting on the aluminium ones. I think I maybe mentioned it earlier in the video, but we're going to put on aluminium on the side, and that's going to save a lot of weight. And this one here's got a little bit of a hole in it as well, I think on that end there, so I might have to try and plate that and try and make it look really good. Let's take you out for a wee walk though, eh? Yeah, so I mean, it does look on YouTube, I suppose, that, you know, we start off projects and you know, only half do them and stuff like that. But that's not really the case. Things are sort of done in priority, you know, and the lorry is obviously very important in getting the stable finished, you know. Now that the summer weather's back in, we don't really have a huge need for the hay bale trailer, so let's leave that aside a little bit too. The house has a new fence at the front, yeah, back at our house. We're having this big issue with ragwort, look. And there's chemicals we can get to absolutely destroy them, you know, and that's what we really want. And I think what's happened is, you know, when the lorry, the tractor came in and cut this, what happens is they spread their seeds, and of course that's them kind of grown all over that bit now. Now that's looking quite fresh, eh? That's our rabbits doing their little thing as well. And look, we're searching around, look, 1, 2, 3, searching that bit there, look, to try and find a bit to. And I also want to get a proper tow bar put in this thing. It's got a pin type, but I don't want that, I want the ball, and wire all that up. You know, at the top we're hoping to have like a light bar at the very top, maybe some orange lights, and then lights shining down, and hopefully a camera looking back as well. The lorry is actually fantastically easy to manoeuvre, but a big bad trailer on it'd be a little bit different. Oh, and I love on TT's on just now. Look, let me get my messages up. Yeah, baby. Super. So if you see in the midst of that, I think that is the plug for the diff oil. I can't see anything else. I'm trying to get the inside of it all cleaned out, just to see if I can get this thing out. Yeah, so when it comes to this diff now, guys, that appears to be the filler, and there's one over there which is for emptying, and I cannot get either of them to turn at all. So what I'm going to have to find out is, can I bore new ones? That's the question. Could I bore something up in there and thread it, and then put in a plug that we can then take on and off ourselves? I think that would be a better idea, eh? All part again to know your vehicle, that's all. But it's got a certain level of gear oil in there at the moment, but I wouldn't want to go and take it out on the road without filling it up again. I think I'm having a brainwave to save probably about £300 or even more actually. I actually think, guys, we can get away, right, with cutting that part off there and making its end piece right there, okay? And obviously we can maybe plate these up and that. But I've also noticed, see how that sort of bends in a bit there as it goes towards the cab. And it's coming out, that's why we need to weld that part there. We need to straighten that bit and pull it back out. But I think I'm going to do the same with both underruns. I think I'm going to rub them right back, get all this cleaned up, and even if I've just got the red oxide paint on it, which is obviously hard before, that will save us a lot of money and a lot of time, even just for now. So always thinking about David, I think we'll just tie the Land Rover onto this bit and pull him, bend him back out before we actually weld that bit just there. And I reckon we just rub that baby down. So that's a job for me and David. He's doing underneath that exhaust part as well. We'll leave all this, we'll do all our cutting and all that sort of stuff when he's here. Yeah, I keep sort of getting away with other jobs, I keep going away to do other little things on the lorry. I just need to get done what it needs to be done to get it through its MOT and back in. Yeah, I thought it might be just a little bit boring, you know, if I was doing this. Just you watch me grind this thing down, but I'm really getting it down now, and we're just finding the little holes here and there. I know the chassis is absolutely fine, but I'm just starting to find these holes that you can deal with a bit of cat alloy. I think they're not big, not very big at all, and I reckon we'll manage that. That's looking a lot better already. You went to some red oxide paints on there, it'll look really good, and then put the black on. Nice. One day I'll have my own sandblaster, guys, and for those of you who don't know, basically blasts sand, But I mean, all this stuff, you know, every single little joint, everything it gets, you know. But we're not at that place just yet, so we'll just have to deal with what we've got. So as always, another little job kind of almost done. Needs some grinder discs, and now we just have to go back and get the kids. Boy, oh boy, it's us back up, and boy, it's hot. It really is. And we're going to have to get the guys in to do this. I think the grass is getting too long, and it doesn't look like I'm going to get a horse in the next like 4 or 5 days. So I'd like to get this cut right back. We'll get all this ragwort out first though, and then it'll be just absolutely brilliant. Right, so I think the thing we're going to have to do with this one here is if I clean up all the sharp edges, because that's always the problem, I think we'll maybe just put a plate in there. We'll just weld a plate in the back, look. Right, so at the back end, guys, I think we're absolutely fine just using Catalloy. It's just little bits and pieces here and there that really need to be done. This side I haven't done yet, that underrun just there, but it's kind of looking okay anyway. Now the lorry's at an angle anyway, guys, so for those of you who've got that sort of keen eye, you'll have probably noticed, but the very end part of this underrun is definitely bent, and we'll pull it with a Land Rover. But this is what we're talking about. This is the kind of things that fail, and quite rightly so. You can imagine these are sharp edges, and imagine somebody in a push bike went into the side of it, or some sort of accident happened. That goes into their skin, that's going to rip their hand off. You know, that's really, really dangerous. So we need to fix that. But I thought what I'd do is, I was thinking about these aluminium ones, but you know something, we really need to just watch our pennies and just do this bit by bit. So I went all the way along the underneath. And as you'll see, there are a couple of holes and bits and pieces like that. You know, thank goodness the chassis and everything is absolutely fine, but oh boy. But it's okay, that's just a little bit of welding work. I was wondering why the fuel tank, I was just giving it a little rub just there, and there's so much red coming off, you know, that I thought was what you call it, rust. But it's actually the layers of red oxide primer that were already on there, look. Isn't that amazing? So yeah, I mean, to fully do the diesel tank would have to drop it down. And by the looks of things, it doesn't look all that awkward. By the looks of things, you just loosen off those bands, and it's actually sitting on a cradle. But the only way to get that fuel tank out is to take the underrun off. So I think what we'll do is I'll maybe just leave that just now. I mean, we have to do it. It'll just get rusty and fall apart. But the underrun's only held on by like 2 bolts and nuts and that bit's there, and off it drops. What I wouldn't give for a sandblasting machine, let me tell you. Oh, I could go to town on this thing. Yeah, so that's okay. We've got the diff all sorted out, ready for young David to do. We've got the pipe coming in here, plus the brackets to put this piece of exhaust pipe on, which David's going to do as well, which is great. And I just need a little bit of metal to do these underruns. And I think we spoke about it before, the kingpins at either side aren't taking grease. So I think we might have to let the garage do that. I think that's maybe beyond me. We'll need proper tools for that. Oh, what to do. I'm so back and forth with this now, you know, just finding these holes, you know, and I can put a plate in the underside there, just give it a nice little bit of Catalloy, you know, cut out all the dead stuff, and it'd be fine. But should we just go for the aluminium ones, really? Aluminum, sorry, you Americans. I wonder if we should. Because the other side to the coin of putting on those aluminums is, they're probably not going to match the back bumper when we paint that silver. So what to do? And I still can't decide whether you can actually just cut that part of the underrun off, you know, like that. I just don't know. I'm not entirely sure. That'll give me a bit of metal though, I'll tell you. To do the other side, what we could do, we would cut that. We could weld it on the other side, you know, the other way around. We could do that, couldn't we? Surely. This side's not so bad though, just a couple of bits and pieces, just plates that I'll need. But again, guys, is it worth it? You know, just change it to the aluminium and just be done with it, you know? I'm assuming an underrun doesn't need to go all the way to there anyway, because you've got that big gaping hole over at that side there as well. So, you know, even if it's just that end piece off, that could really help us. No, come on, let's stick with the plan. Let's stick with the plan. That's the easy option. Let's do it the more difficult way. It's better for YouTube anyway. It's better for David as well, you know, to get to see a little wee bit of welding and stuff. That'll be awesome. But I can we cut that bit right there, that section out. put a cap on. We could do that, I think, because this side isn't bad. It's not bad at all. So that's us back in the house now, and as you'll see from the whole video, we've kind of set David up for quite a lot of different little jobs. I think we're just going to go with the steel, and the place we normally put our Land Rover into, I think we'll just get some steel and do some welding. I think that would be better for YouTube, you know, for to do sort of jobs like that. And I think David can do the diff with me, then we can do the tailpipe and do a little bit of welding, so that's all really good. So if you've been following this project so far, thank you very much for watching. As always guys, you know, it's time, it's energy, it's money, you know, it's all those things that are combined together, you know, but we'll get there in the end. So hopefully we'll really turn this thing into a mega wild camper, you know, as well as the horse lorry as well, of course. And then we've got the quad bikes, and using it to take away the motorbikes. We can camp out, we can tow stuff. So it's going to be a really great sport vehicle once I've got it all done. But for the minute, it's really just getting it back on the road, you know, that's what I want. We're still applying for horses for Emily just now, which is great. The field needs its rock work taken out. But guys, you know, we're just about ready to go. It might not look like it, but we're just about ready to go. So again, thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit notifications. Loads and loads of videos coming up, as always. And again, David and Emily have got their own Barney Family Fun YouTube channel. They're a short channel and a gaming channel for kids. So if you've got kids, I hope you really enjoy that. But for now, again, thank you so much for watching.